I never really thought of myself as an attractive person. Like, I would never call myself anything more than a 4. But now, like, I don't really care about what anyone thinks about me. Like, I've grown into myself, and I'm comfortable with who I am now, that, like, even if you guys call me delusional or whatever, I think I'm maybe not a 10, let's not go that far, but like definitely an 8.
Definitely an 8.
You ain't got to lie.
I'ma tell you the truth.
Whether you guys think I am or not,
that's got nothing to do with her.
But like,
so what is it that took you from a 4 to an 8? If nothing's changed, what is it that takes you
loving
from a 4
myself
to an 8?
and looking in the mirror and not being disgusted at what I see.
Loving yourself is definitely a good thing. There's no argument about it. But the issue begins when you start conflating fiction with reality. Deluding yourself into believing that what you see in the mirror is not your actual reflection is a clear indication there's something seriously wrong with you. And instead of detaching yourself from reality, how about making some changes to your diet by eating healthy and less food and moving more?
Biggest animal that has ever lived on our planet. A blue whale, 30 meters long and weighing over 200 tons. It's far bigger than even the biggest dinosaur. Its heart is the size of a car, and some of its blood vessels are so wide that you could swim down.
God have mercy upon us.
Facts. It does not mean bad. It does not mean unhealthy. It does not mean any of these negative words.
Weight is not a good predictor of health. We can talk about health, and I think it is important, but I don't think weight is a good proxy to do that.
The destruction of this scale is dedicated to all of the women whose lives have been bruised and ruled by it.
And I wasn't gonna say anything else because my moods are already gathering her. But I gotta say something. Like, I really tend to sit back and mind my business. I'm not minding my business because it's people like her that genuinely make my ass itch to the 10th degree. Y'all only ever want to have conversations about health and wellness when it comes to fat people. Y'all only ever want to have conversations about health and wellness when it comes to fat people. Y'all are not addressing food deserts. Y'all not talking about how unaffordable healthcare is. You're not bringing up the fact that people with diabetes have to ration their insulin because they can't afford it. Do you know how expensive asthma inhalers are? Like, do you understand that people don't have access to basic resources?
You just defeated your own argument. Being obese heightened the risks of getting both diabetes and asthma. Furthermore, do you know that obesity is the second biggest preventable cause of cancer, not to mention other health effects such as heart disease, strokes, fatty liver disease, sleep apnea, etc. And if you don't know, now you know.
I'm gonna say something controversial and I don't care. I don't care how trendy or cute or fun it seems to be fat. Don't let that shit with your head. Don't let the idea that, oh, I could catch it no matter how big I am, cause you to forget about your health and to keep gaining weight. I actually feel kind of guilty for being a part of this movement, and I know it's not my fault or my responsibility to keep other people's health, but being a pioneer in this game, like I literally was one of the first influencers to work with Fashion Nova before they even had a plus size line. So when I say I'm a pioneer, I'm a pioneer. I'm one of the main reasons why we have the plus size fashion industry that we have. And you could argue with anybody, that's the truth. And my point is that I see a lot of fat girls who gained a lot of weight from being caught up in this movement and turning around 5, 6, 7 years later talking about, damn, I let my health go to shit. I got this problem now. I'm 400 pounds. I can't do this. I can't do that. Babe, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Being attractive, being able to still wear nice clothes is not the end all be all. You got to really think about your health. Because when you're in your 20s, you think that life is just rainbows and candy. You don't even think about the future. But when you start creeping up in age, babes, it's gonna catch up to you. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not saying that every fat person is unhealthy. Hello, I'm fat. I'm not claiming that you gotta hate fat people. That's literally the opposite of what I'm saying. But let's be for real. Health is real. Organs failing is real. Diabetes, heart disease, all that shit is real, okay? It's not fat phobic to care about your health. And if nobody else wants to say it, let me fucking tell you the truth. Love yourself at any size, wear the clothes you want to wear, but don't forget that your heart has to beat, babes. Don't forget that your blood sugar has to keep a balance, babe. No amount of Instagram pictures looking cute and being an influencer wearing a size whatever you are is gonna stop your heart from not beating if you eating bacon every day. And this is coming from someone who's learning those lessons now, myself. So to the younger girls, the younger generation, take care of your health. It's not fat phobic to take care of your health. It's not a joke. And I'm saying this out of love, not out of self-hate. I see a lot of my fellow content creator, fellow plus size, fellow bloggers, whatever you want to call them, plus size models, now talking about wanting to get healthy, now talking about needing to da-da-da-da. Because 5, 6, 7 years ago, when they were 22, when they were 21, 25, it wasn't a problem. Now you're 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, whatever the case is, and you're like, damn, I can't get pregnant. I have this problem. I got that problem. The problems creep up, babe. And the reality is, loving yourself also includes taking care of your body. If you want this body to last 100 years, you got to take care of it. So don't let nobody else convince you that taking care of your health is fat phobic. And if somebody's telling you that, it's because they're miserable and they want you to die and stay fat like that.
Mad respect to this lady for calling out other influencers who promote and glorify obesity on their bullshit and criticizing the so-called body positivity movement. Ironically, it's the only movement that don't move.
Fat motherfuckers be like, being overweight runs in our family. Bro, nobody runs in your family. The fuck?
On the next video is Katie Hopkins, a TV personality who bluntly called out obese people for being lazy and that they inflicted obesity on themselves. And needless to say, she faced backlash for saying that. However, in order to prove her point, she purposely gained 3 stones and managed to losing the weight in just a few months. Evidently, she has put her money where her mouth is.
Being obese, being fat, being overweight has become the new normal. I really believe for fat people, the solution is their own hands. They don't need to put so much into their faces. So take that, fat bastards.
You're gaining for a reason that you feel like to prove society wrong.
Yes.
Which you're wrong.
I'm trying to put on full stone to prove society if you stop eating and move more, you will lose weight.
And that ain't true.
So she set out to prove it.
What we have in front of us is what I'll be eating from now on in order to put on 4 stone in 3 months.
Katie went from 125 pounds to 167 pounds in 3 months by eating and doing nothing.
All right, Katie, so your final weight is just under 12 stone. So you've put on
3 stone and a bit.
That's right.
In the special, Katie takes the weight off again, cutting back to 1,500 calories a day and exercising. She made her campaign public, but it didn't make her popular.
And I think I'm right to carry on sort of bruising my way through on this issue because I think there's so many people willing to tiptoe around it.
Shout out to Katie Hopkins for standing her ground and proving that it's feasible to lose weight if you have the will and determination to do so. At the end of the day, no one is more hated than he who speaks the truth.
Today to talk to you about a very powerful little word, one that people will do almost anything to avoid becoming. I'm not sure if any of you have noticed, but I'm fat. Let's not sugarcoat it. I am the capital F-A-T kind of fat. I am the elephant in the room. When I walked out on stage, some of you may have been thinking, oh, this is going to be hilarious, because everybody knows that fat people are funny. Or you may have been thinking, where does she get her confidence from? Because a confident fat woman is almost unthinkable. These judgments are insidious. They can be directed at individuals and groups, and they can also be directed at ourselves. And this way of thinking is known as fat phobia.
Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl!
Like any form of systematic oppression, fat phobia is deeply rooted in complex structures like capitalism, patriarchy, and racism.
What?
What?
What? What?
We live in a culture where being fat is seen as being a lazy, greedy, unhealthy, irresponsible.
If you're ashamed of something that you are in control of, then I think you should be able to make the right changes. If you really want to, blaming and shaming society for your own shortcomings is absurd to say the least. You can deceive yourself into believing that the sky is green, But don't attempt to guilt everyone else into accepting your idiotic bullshit by equating the so-called fat phobia with racism and patriarchy. And at the end of the day, if the shoe fits, wear it. And with this, I conclude this video. Please like and subscribe, as it will greatly help the channel. And until next time, be safe and stay legal.